Hello everyone and welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited as today I am sharing 5 things that you need to consider when preparing your child's environment if you are implementing the Montessori method. And these 5 things can be implemented even if you are not incorporating Montessori at home. My name is Leslie and I am a certified Montessori guide who's been working in the classroom for 8 years. But most importantly, I am a Montessori mama to a 16-month-old. If you are interested in joining my family's Montessori at home adventures, go ahead and follow me on my Instagram where I share tips and ideas on how you can also incorporate the Montessori philosophy at home, and I do it with a big family emphasis. One of the things that you want to consider when preparing your toddler's environment is to have things at their eye level. Now, Dr. Montessori realized through her observation and through her work with children that when things are at a child's eye level, it brings upon this sense of independence. It brings the desire for your child to access the materials that are available for him or for her. So having a low toy shelf or books at their eye level, having hooks where they can hang their coats, or even artwork is critical so that your child can see what their options are. It's also really important so that your child has this sense of belonging. Remember that your house is not just for the adults. Your child is also part of your family culture, the family dynamic, and so what better way to make them feel included when things are accessible to them. Now imagine you lived in a house where things were just not at your reach, where things were restricted from you, where you couldn't see what your options were, where you couldn't reach for the food that you needed and you wanted at the moment. That is the exact same idea with children. When they don't have things at their eye level and accessible to them, this can bring a sense of frustration and stress to their life. And this can translate into meltdowns and into tantrums. The second thing to consider is to have a place for everything. Now, Dr. Maria Montessori identified that young children are in what she called a sensitive period for order. And so when things are in order and everything has its place, a child feels a sense of relief and they are content. Now think of something in your household that you are often misplacing, whether it is maybe the TV remote or maybe your car keys, your house keys. I know that used to be my case. But when you have a specific place where you always put it, in my case, my keys always go right next to the door. I have a little hook, so I come home and I place my keys there, and I know that they will always be there. And so that is kind of the same idea with your children. When they know that the toys always go on the shelf, they're always on the shelf, they're going to know exactly, number 1, where to pack them away, where they belong, and number 2, they are going to know exactly where to find their toys. When everything has a place in your household, it's going to be more inviting for your child to clean up, for your child to put away their toys, to have the desire to get dressed in the morning, because they know exactly where things are located and they know exactly that where they leave their things, they are going to find them. The third thing you want to consider is to have trays and baskets for your child's toys or even materials around the house. And so when you have baskets for each individual toy, it's going to provide your child with, number 1, that sense of order. It's also going to give your child the opportunity to quickly find what they need. And when they can access what they need, this leads to independence. When you have only one type of toy in one basket or one tray, this helps with your child being able to practice the specific skills that this toy is meant to provide your child. It also helps your child feel and stay organized, and if your child is feeling organized, then you as a parent, you are also going to be feeling organized. The other thing you want to consider is to have a limited number of things in your household for your child. So as you can see here, I have my daughter's toy shelf, and we only have 5 toys available for her. And the reason for that is because we don't want to overwhelm our children with the amount of options that they have. Now, my daughter is 16 months, so 5 toys is enough for her to think critically when making choices and for her to focus on these very specific skills. The same goes with clothing. Only have maybe 3, 4, 5 choices for your child so that your child can confidently start making those choices on what clothes they want to wear, what socks they want to wear, and so on. The idea is the same with books, with cutlery in your kitchen, with shoes, with hair ties, with anything that your child is currently using. And the last and final thing that you want to consider is to make your home accessible for your child. So having a learning tower so that your child can help you in the kitchen, having step stools so that they can reach the sink, or you can have low hooks so that your child can access the clothing and go hang their hat or their gloves, whatever it is. This is going to help your child feel confident with doing things around their household. It's going to help them with that independence. It's also really going to help with a lot of that gross motor development, having that they're going to be stepping onto the step stool, they're going to be pulling themselves up on that learning tower, they're going to reach the faucet, so they're going to be opening and closing the faucet. It helps with a lot of that cause and effect. If they can reach things in your household like the light switches and the faucet, they can instantly see and get this real life experience with knobs and light switches, and in the kitchen just seeing how you make the food and so much more. And so those are 5 simple things that you can consider when setting up your toddler's environment at home. If you do have an infant, I have an infant course which focuses on the importance of play during that critical time of their development. I'll have all of that linked below, along with some of the things that I shared here with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and to follow my family's adventures on Instagram. Thank you again, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Adios.